Hey all, John here, and I'm just talking about the joy of record collecting for me. And I still have a lot of fun finding music I never heard before. And I really like randomly finding things and not being directly influenced by people. Obviously, I'm influenced if I hear something on the radio I like, a lot of good stuff on the radio. If you're paying attention, dig deep. I'm influenced by what other people talk about or other people maybe show records. But I don't like direct influences like someone telling me, "Oh, you need to hear this," or "You need to hear." I mean, I appreciate it, but I don't usually, go do what they say. I love finding on my own. I'd rather take something you showed me, put in the back of my head, and then when the time's right, or if I see it, then I'll take a chance. But I do not like corporate lists that come out, and these are the new records for the week, and I have to pick off these 20. That feels like shopping. It doesn't feel like searching and finding what you really like. I mean, there's millions of records out there. How could, whatever. I'm interested in just playing around. So anyway, I got 4 random records, and it was all from the same seller, just searching through his stuff. And I love the fact that these are 4 completely random records, and I never heard of 3 of them. I never even heard of. I just was sampling and found, and actually, no, that's a lie. 2 of them I never heard of. But anyway, so I had a song on my Discogs want list, and I don't put a lot on the want list. Sometimes I'll put them on there so I don't forget, but usually I forget. I let things go through my brain and sift out. I don't really care. Hopefully something sticks if it's important enough. But a record came up on the want list, and it was something I didn't recognize, didn't remember, so I clicked on it, and now I remember it was this killer like blues track that Matthias, DJ Mean Mojo YouTube channel, awesome channel. He plays a lot of rare 78s and 45s, garage rock, rockabilly, blues, whatever. But anyway, it was one that particularly stuck out to me, so I must have clicked on. And this was probably a year or 2 ago. I don't even remember when he did it. But anyway, so I clicked it. It was a pretty good price. And I said, "Oh, what else is the seller selling?" So I went through his 45s, and he didn't really have too much if you look up punk or whatever, but he had a couple things, and I grabbed 4 records, and it was just so much fun because anyway, I'll play a couple, but I love these 4 random records, and I don't really know where I'm going with this. I guess I'm going to just show off 4 records that I really, really was excited to get and had a lot of fun. The first one is a band called The Straps. Punk band. I heard the name. I don't really know it. It's like UK 77 London band, 1977. But they put out, I think, later 1 album, and it had 2 singles. And this single's from 1980. And what I liked about this, it's like rockabilly meets 77 punk. And you don't really hear that mix as the B-side, just new age. And it's just an awesome track. And the B-side just straight up punk. And it was cheap. And if you get it from American seller, I think this is an underrated, legit punk gem from the era that you could get for cheap. But I'll play a track. I'll play it. You'll hear what I mean. It's almost psychobilly, not trying to be. And the sticker on it, when it originally came out, it was resold some more rockabilly. It's clearly not rockabilly, but you'll hear what I mean. But let's put this on. The A side's great. You hear like a little almost like Media's guitar solo in there. Like it's pretty good. Not that they weren't influenced off. At least I don't think they were influenced off the Medias. I think they just hit their own thing. But the B side, just straight up punk rock, UK punk rock. Okay, the next one up, this is the track that started it all off that Matthias played. And I can't remember if he played both sides, but it's by a cat named Fenton Robinson. This is blues. Let's hold this thing up. Whoops, this way. Fenton Robinson. And I didn't know him. I never heard his name, but he was from, looking at Discogs, if I remember. It's been a while since I looked it up. It was like Mississippi or a Tennessee cat. And he cut a record on Media Records in the 50s. I think he cut a few singles in the 50s and then ended up moving to Chicago. And the A side, Crying the Blues, which looked like it had a few pressings, so maybe it was a minor hit. But Crying the Blues is like pretty much Chicago blues, but like I think this is 1974, with like a 70s feel. But the track, oh, no, sorry, my mistake. Find a Way is the A side. That's like kind of Chicago blues. The killer track is this Crying the Blues. That's the B side. That's the song. And you could hear a little, the harmonica sounds like country blues mixed with like 1950s straight up Chicago, like classic traditional Chicago blues. But then it's got this 70s kind of like funky vibe happening. And the tune builds. And with everything happening, it all of a sudden hits this like magic where the overtones and the groove is feeding off each other. And for some reason, it reminds you of the Spacemen 3 on that last album, Recurring, like Big City. It's almost got a hypnotic groove thing. I don't know how much is intentional, but there's magic on this record. This is the one that did it. I'm going to start halfway through. The track is great, groovy, but it builds and it's in stereo. It just has this, they hit magic, when a band's jamming and, all of a sudden it feels right or everything's working and it's kind of bigger than just the note you're playing, they're playing, and the beat. But this tune has the magic, especially the second half. At least I could hear. Here we go. Fenton Robinson, Crying the Blues. You dug it. I mean, that was just a sample, but when you're cranking it in the room and you're really grooving this song hits it, man. And that's on record. Where am I? FM Records in 1974, I believe. Next up, maybe we'll do this one. This is a great track. I knew this track. I had it on a compilation record. And it was just cheap. It's I think it's almost a novelty track. But this is Ebba Sneezer, and Epidemics. And it's kind of a novelty track called Asiatic Flu. That must have been one of the strains of flu that was going around in the 1950s. But this record is a fantastic example of hillbilly boogie music, or what we call hillbilly boogie. Happened in the basically mid 50s, maybe to late 50s. It's hot guitar. It's very similar to rockabilly, hillbilly boogie. Hot guitar, simple, unsophisticated songs, lyrics about drinking, women, fun, fighting, just simple music like rockabilly, but much more country. But it is not traditional country. It's almost like hot rod country or maybe owes more to bluegrass. It was only around for a little bit, and to have a nice 45 of, there's a lot of Hillbilly Boogie you could get on comps. They're all little indie records and stuff, but to have an OG, and this was out of, I think, Chapel Hill, so I'm assuming this is a North Carolina band, and that's probably not their real name. Ebba Sneeza is probably the only thing this band did, but maybe they cut under different names. And the B-side, maybe I should play the B-side, is just a perfect example of Hillbilly Boogie with hot guitar, like very much similar to rockabilly, but the groove is just a little more closer to bluegrass. But anyway, enough yapping about it. This is 1957, and I looked up this Colonial record label, small label, but they put out some really killer rockabilly tracks that I knew. And I had no idea. I don't remember this label, but cool stuff.
There's a little bitty bug that's going all around. He's hitting all the cities and he's hitting all the towns. Beatles don't claim him and neither do the fleas, because he makes everybody silly. I got that Asiatic blues. Well, he comes slipping in when you...
So I just play a bit because that's a bit of a novelty tune, but I absolutely love it. And there was a time in probably like 25 years ago, or in the late 90s, where I was eating this stuff up. This was like amazing stuff. But I'll play the B-side. That's All I Got. It's about a guy getting beat up by his wife or girlfriend and left, and he's just all beat up, and that's all he's left with, like a bloody nose and stuff. But this is a perfect example of Hillbilly Boogie. Not quite country, not quite rockabilly, and it kind of just rode in between, did its own thing, and it's totally forgotten about style of music.
Well, a pocket full of sneers and a bucket full of tears and a nose that's out of place. There's the splinters all around where the door fell down when you slammed it in my face. That's all I got to remember you by. That's all I've got to remember you by. Now my head's healed up and my ears are clear and my nose...
And you could hear, I just love that guitar solo, man, with those old tube amps, like just turned up red hot. And you could hear his influence clearly, like country picking Chet Atkins, and also a couple like Scotty Moore, Elvis. He definitely heard like some of those early Elvis guitar solos. But wonderful, wonderful, quick hour of music, that Hillbilly Boogie sound. And the last record, which is just a ball finding this, and I don't think many people know about it. It looked like maybe 6 people have it and 2 people want it. But this is a track called I'll Be Glad When You're Dead. And it's by a cat named Mickey Martin on Tally Ho Records out in New Jersey. This label maybe put out 3 or 4 records. I can't remember. Mickey Martin, there might have been one other single he did. And the B-side's not so great, but this A-side is fantastic. I'll be glad I'm dead. And it's just, it kind of has, like, the songwriting arrangement almost feels like Eddie Cochran, but it's total, like, Bobby Darin wannabe thing. But the lyrics are great, and he sings the verse. He keeps modulating up a key. I think he goes through 5 or 6 different keys, and he adds an instrument or adds background singers, and it gets fuller as it goes. But, simple tune, catchy, but man, I'm so happy that I found this. I didn't live my life without not hearing this song. And I realize this is way too esoteric for people. And this record is in decent shape. It's very sparse arrangement in the beginning, so you do hear the crackle, but so worth it. I love his phrasing of the word rascal. Like, he must have been some like hip, like, hey, I'm like Buddy Greco and Bobby Darin kind of character.
Well, I'm gonna be glad when you're dead, you rascal, you. Gonna be glad you're dead, you rascal, you. When they tell me that you're dead, not a teardrop will I shed. Gonna be glad you're dead, you rascal, you. Be glad when you're dead, you rascal, you. Gonna be glad when you're dead, you rascal, you. So the only gal I had, you low down dirty cat. Gonna be glad when you're dead, you rascal, you. Gonna be glad when you're dead, you rascal, you. Gonna be so glad when you're dead, you rascal, you. When they roll you down the street, I clap my hands and tap my feet. Gonna be glad, glad, glad you're dead, you rascal.